I'm Harriet Dichter, and I work with Geaux Far and people here in Louisiana on behalf of the BUILD initiative to provide support services to really help all of their work be successful. Geaux Far is reflecting this amazing understanding and bubbling up that we're seeing here in Louisiana and in other places all over the country now, where there's such an understanding that we've drifted in terms of who we put at the center of decision-making and thinking and imagining and creating what we need best for young children and their families. And so Geaux Far is in some ways ahead of many people because Geaux Far is realizing these ideas. People are talking more about the importance of providers and trying to tap into the energy and the spirit and the expertise of providers. And people are talking a lot more about honoring the experience of families and tapping into that and using that to advance the work. But where Geaux Far is different is people have said, those are a lot of great ideas, let's put that into practice. Geaux Far has challenged all that by putting together this incredible steering committee, by spending all this time out speaking with people in community and going back to community, and I think going back over and over again to try to really craft an agenda and a plan of action that really is driven and owned by community, driven and owned by family members, driven and owned by providers. It's not exclusive because it does take a village. We've been talking a lot today about villages and that idea of interconnection, and that there's so many things in our society that we need to work on. But what's really inspiring about this work is really saying it's everyone together, and it is shifting basically who we're listening to first. So there is this big effort here to center or put the power and the thinking and the first ideas, not from the lawyers, not from the policy people, not from the people in government, but from people who are out there each and every day, delivering services to children and families, or out there each and every day, living in community as family members. One of the biggest issues was that people simply lack services. We have heard it over and over again today, and when the Power Coalition went out to community and they spoke with people, we heard it over and over again. And in the survey that Geaux Far put together that many people responded to, people didn't have child care services, they didn't have mental health services, there are a lot of services. So one of the pieces of success, I think, will be more services that more families are able to use. But a second one that we've been talking about a lot today, and that I really think will be around sustaining work for the future, is this work around trying to change who is sitting at the table when decisions are being made and is actually participating in making decisions about how revenue is raised for public services, about what is funded, how things are organized. So those are things that I think will be sustaining successes. We have to change basically the framework in Louisiana. That will be a huge win for children, for families, and for the state as a whole. And that will also be an inspiring win for people all over the country. I think the other piece that I am really hopeful about and excited about with this is really these ideas that some of this work is in silos. And so we talked today, and we talked about healthcare, we talked about mental health services, and we talked about childcare, and we talked about many other kinds of things. And also people have had this insight, people don't live their lives in just childcare or just in mental health services. People live their lives as whole human beings. And I feel that this initiative and the way this is coming together, all of this effort is also really around saying we live our lives as whole people, and that Geaux Far is representing the idea that there is a system that is interconnected and that all of these things touch upon each other. And the work really will not only be to make sure there's enough service of what people want, but there are interconnections in those services. And the last thing I think I want to say about this is I noticed over and over today again, as people were writing down stickies about where they wanted, people were saying things in their sticky notes like, They wanted this period of development for kids and their families to be fun. They wanted children to have positive experience and adults to have positive experiences. And so I think I want to call that out too, that there's a very human thing. It's not just all, parsing things out together, but there is this element and excitement here that is around living one's life basically as fully as possible and living as community as fully as possible together with the right supports from the public sector, with the right support from our employers, with things going so that people feel they're celebrating and not just marching in the right direction, but they're celebrating as they're marching themselves forward. Okay, I'm Harriet, Geaux Far, Louisiana.